he just went low. He's in his head. He's in his head. He's open. His head wide open. Cracked open in the face.
And welcome everyone, it's Mario Mantis 100 back again with the first impressions video, and it's finally time to tackle Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, or Arceus, or however you would like to call the Pokemon. I preferably go Arceus, that just makes sense to me. Go with the usual. So yeah, so it's going to be weird going back to this game from Scarlet and Violet. Obviously still haven't finished Scarlet and Violet yet. Excuse me, I'm still a little bit sick. Recording this probably maybe a week or two after recording that episode 20 of How's My Team, so I'm still coughing a little bit, and that just something that just won't go away. I was going to say the Arceus bouncing around. Don't know why there's a phone, considering that this is set in the past, but you know, we'll probably work that out. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because a lot of the stuff that Scarlet and Violet obviously brought to the table for that generation a lot of it came from this game. So it'll be interesting to go back to see what was added from Sword and Shield to Scarlet and Violet. No, I'm dead. Yes. Not really. It's just a nickname. But Laventon. Okay. So it seems with the outfit that we are from the future going back to the past, so that's going to be interesting. And maybe that's why we had the phone like right at the start. Yeah, like phone. Yep, Rowlet from Gen 7. Cyndaquil from Gen 2. And Oshawott from Gen 5. That's my plan. 50 Pokeballs. So now, recent invention, though, if you're talking about Gen 1, kind of makes sense, considering that was obviously the first game of the franchise. So like, oh yeah, it's like the current set of Pokeballs were a most recent invention, but then obviously every generation after that kind of follows that boot. But considering that this is most recent invention, it's gonna be weird. I'm doing my best here. Not exactly helping me. Well, it hit a rock. So I guess it shows you the tutorial on whatever one you you either get attention to when it comes to a Pokemon, or even just the last one, it will break out the first time. No, don't show him that. Fucks up the goddamn timeline. To be fair, I think the Legends obviously will be in its own separate timeline, but I have no idea. I'll go with that option because the other option seems like I'm a dick. He's looking up at the storm, I'm guessing, yeah. So obviously they'll have something to do with us going back to whatever time period we came from, I think. The style of very much of those characters look very much like the Black Belts. Also, I do like the setting. Like, I think the fact of going back to the past, it very much reminds me, obviously, of some of the towns in Gen 2. Obviously, with that old rustic art style, like that rustic style. It very much. Yep, so this is definitely one thing that was added from Sword and Shield to Scarlet and Violet, which obviously is the map and like points of interest markers on the map. It does that. Ouch, that was cold. So it definitely is weird that we're still in a situation with Pokemon not doing voice acting during the games. That's right, it's Akari, yeah. So very much Akari looks very much like Dawn from Gen 4, which is pretty intentional, I think, obviously from Game Freak. Obviously they know of Dawn being, like Dawn and Lucas having their fans from Gen 4. Obviously that was intentional, obviously, with this setting being supposed to be Sinnoh, which, we'll probably get. This could be in like it could be in a separate timeline altogether. I don't know whether Legends is, or whether it's in the timeline like the remakes, because obviously with Pokemon, I think that's fair enough. Space-time rift, yeah. So yeah, so and with obviously with Pokemon at the moment, they have multiple different timelines. Obviously, you kind of we kind of dived into that a little bit more in Sun and Moon, and especially in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, with having multiple different timelines and like multiple dimensions. With the fact that the normal timeline of the normal generation games, so we're talking Red, Blue, Gold, Silver, Ruby, Sapphire, Diamond, Pearl, Black and White, Black 2, White 2, X and Y, Sun and Moon, and then obviously Sword and Shield and then Scarlet and Violet. They're all in their own timeline. Obviously with events, sometimes some games are before others in the timeline. Then obviously the remakes I think are supposed to be in their own separate timeline, which is why like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon kind of dived into like the Team Rainbow Rocket subplot, and like Ultra Necrozma and stuff like that. Like that kind of melds together all. Kind of melded the two timelines together, with all the fact that the remakes are actually like part of the a separate timeline altogether, which obviously the post-game story of Sun and Moon kind of dives into that a little bit as well, but they definitely dived into it more with Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. And I don't know whether this game, in terms of the Legends series, is a separate timeline altogether, or whether it is part of the main timeline with the main games. So we got the Hisui region, which obviously is the Sinnoh region from the past. Don't know why Sinnoh gets its name changed from Hisui to Sinnoh. We don't know whether this is a game that's separate altogether, another alternate dimension or something like that. We obviously probably won't know until probably later in the game. Excuse me. But I love how they just say it like it just fell out of the sky, like it's nothing crazy. That's correct. And perhaps you're deaf. Wow. Saying that nonchalantly. But yeah, obviously this came out after the Gen 4 remakes, which obviously I need to make a video about that as well. And I've still got Shining Pearl just sitting there, just waiting for me to play it. And I do want to play it at some point, but I'm not playing it right now. But I will soon. Look at all those colours coming from out there. It's definitely like it's an ultra wormhole. But it'll be interesting to, and obviously I'm playing this game before obviously Legends ZA comes out, or Legends ZA, as I technically, like Jordan and myself call it, because yeah, we don't know what the actual so it does auto save. Okay, that's good. That's the rumble of my Joy-Cons going there. But yeah, very much looks like it's ultra wormholes that are causing the world to go crazy. But it's a nice change of pace of the fact that this game is set in the past, and it's like kind of I was gonna say tribal, but like you know what I mean, like set in the past. And it kind of has that rustic style that's very much different to a lot of the stuff that we've seen in Pokemon generations before. Bidoof, Starling, Shinx. I love there's an Abra in the corner. This is chilling. So obviously we do have side quests. This is when we pick our Pokemon. Now, I already have a Rowlet from Sun and Moon that I already have in Scarlet and Violet. And I do like Oshawott, but I don't really like, obviously, what it evolves into, which obviously gets to Samurott. So I'm going to go with Cyndaquil. Now, ultimately, yes, I've had a Cyndaquil in the past. In fact, one of the first times that I ever played Gen 2, which obviously was my first Pokemon generation, a lot of the time when I've played the game, I've played with Cyndaquil. I've played with, obviously, with Chikorita and with Totodile as well in Gen 2. But I always have a nostalgic, like, soft spot for Cyndaquil. And considering even back when I was like 5, 6, 7, the fact that I raised it from a Cyndaquil to a Quilava to a Typhlosion was really, really cool. Now I could have went with Oshawott because obviously, like I said, I got a Rowlet already. Oshawott is only one that I have played with once. And even then, that was in, I believe I did that in Black 2, White 2, I think. I can't remember if I picked Snivy or I picked Oshawott, but I have, like, obviously seen an Oshawott in play because obviously when I played Gen 5 for the first time, I played with Tepig. So obviously the rival character, and one of the rival characters, obviously Sharon, I believe his name is in that game. And obviously the type that was strongest against me, which obviously ended up being Oshawott. So I have like a nostalgic soft spot for Oshawott, especially for the anime. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I feel like I have a little bit of bias, obviously, with Cyndaquil more than some other Pokemon in this franchise. I think even more like Totodile. I think I don't even have it as much. With Chikorita, actually, believe it or not, I think Chikorita is the one that I've played with the least. Togepi, nice pick. Ah, the Cyndaquil's a female too. Nice. Cyndaquil knowing quick attack, and that's the only attack that we've got. That's crazy. I guess they kind of wanted to do a different thing altogether, because obviously. Because usually you only have Scratch and Growl, maybe at this point with Cyndaquil. So having quick attack to start off with, that's a different thing altogether. Well, I appreciate that. I always appreciate when somebody asks for a battle and then are nice enough to actually heal your Pokemon afterwards too. Oh, the potion. Well, yeah, of course the potions would be different. They're more like ointments and stuff like that, like creams and stuff. That's pretty cool. I do like that aesthetic change, because obviously the potions, I guess in the form of the anime, it's like an injection shot, obviously but it's the way that it's modeled in the games. It doesn't look like it's obviously. I don't know whether it's something that they obviously can ingest. Oh, nice. Okay, so we have like a little map. That's pretty cool. Obviously, I imagine that each of the different areas on the map will be big, like a big area. What was it? Aspiration Hill. Bidoof. Everyone's favorite Gen 4 Pokemon. Shinx will probably be the hardest one, I would imagine. Hooray. So yeah, Starly would be a little bit harder. I'd imagine Shinx would be very, like, obviously would be very hard to catch, because they'll notice me much easier. Starly, I've got to admit, Starly's probably one of my favourite starter birds. So yeah, this was another thing that obviously was added. Oh, I didn't even have to go close to it. Okay, I thought I had to. This is a nice tutorial. I do like this. So I might use iron berries for the next one. But yeah, I gotta say, Starly is like one of my favorite starter birds, I think. But just the fact that like Staravia and Staraptor especially. We can't tell because it's in the grass, but it's in there somewhere. Got it. We did good. Is Laventon another name of a tree? Because they've done that with the Pokemon professors pretty much the entire time of the Pokemon generations. So I wouldn't be surprised if Laventon's another. Dude, you're supposed to have your eyes open when you're getting photos done. Though we've got 4 at the moment, because obviously Cyndaquil as well, in the Pokemon we just caught. Ah, sorry. Pressing the wrong thing. That's all our settings. Have we actually got that on? Let me have a look at the settings. Have I got autosave on? I do have autosave on, okay. Because I was going to say, but I'm guessing that's what the no-go logo on this menu is. I'm assuming that's to say. Oh no, actually there's a save function there. Alright, there we go. So I reckon I'm going to leave it there. So what am I thinking? I'm thinking so far this is actually decent. I can see where some things have come from this game that have been added to Scarlet and Violet, obviously, from Sword and Shield. So adding them as upgrades from this game into that game makes a lot of sense. It'd be interesting to see what Legend Zar brings to the table, whether it changes a lot of things or whether it adds some more things, more improvements or not. Obviously that game will come out in a couple of months. At the time of this recording, obviously you can see that it is, well, the date setting is the 8th of the 7th, but it's actually the 7th of the 8th. So I think for America, obviously that date is normal for people in America. Obviously it's month first, then date, and then day, then year. Whereas with Australia, it's the other way. It's usually day, month, and then year. So looking at it that way, it kind of throws me off a little bit. But yeah, the game will be out in about 2 months or so. It'll be out in October, so at the time of this recording, obviously. So yeah, it's not too far away. And obviously we'll be picking that up eventually. Whether I'll be doing a video on it on time, I don't know, because at this point I still do not have a Switch 2. Obviously I do have Mario Kart World that I can play immediately when I do get a Switch 2, but since I didn't pre-order one and I was a dumbass, I don't have one at the moment, so unfortunately won't be able to play that on Switch 2 straight away unless I have it before October, obviously. So obviously couldn't do an unboxing video or anything like that in terms of the Switch 2 when it officially launched in June, but partially that was my fault. Obviously there was a lot of stuff going into the Switch 2, and it did have a decent amount of time, obviously a couple months, obviously from the Direct to when it actually released. And I should have just worked out how to pre-order, but yeah, a few things kind of came up. I had some financial issues as well, that obviously some of those things were on me that I needed to sort out. But pre-ordering the console probably would have been better, because I would have had the game, I would have had obviously the Switch 2, I would have been able to play Mario Kart World at the moment, and would have been fine, but obviously not the case. But I'm working on it. That was my goddamn leg too. But I'm enjoying this so far. I'm enjoying this, and I can't wait to see where I go with this. And yeah, I'm going to put some more time into it eventually and play it. And it feels like it's going to be a different experience from Scarlet and Violet, just enough. So especially with the setting. So it's not going to be a situation where I might get too worn out from playing two games that are very similar together in the Pokemon franchise, because I did that obviously when I did Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. After beating Sun and Moon, obviously kind of felt that with Black 2, sorry, I think I had Pokemon White 2, and tried to play that game, and then also playing Ultra Sun on top of that. So it was a bit of a mess with that, but I don't feel like I'm going to be burnt out this time the same way. At least at the moment anyway. But it's looking like it's good. I like the setting. I do like the story a little bit so far. Interesting to see. I'll be interested to see where this sits in the timeline of everything in terms of Pokemon. But with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this first impressions video of Pokemon Legends Arceus for the Nintendo Switch. This has been Mario Man 100. You guys have a great day or night, and of course, take care.